Hello, I am back. I'm not sure what happened. Um, People trying to hack my account, so that's not good. So, hello, I'm here. That was a struggle, but I never give up on anything. So, if people would like to interfere in what I'm doing, that's their prerogative, I guess. Let me know when you join back in. Say hello, say hello. While we wait, I'm Peaceful Nick the Medium. I am an evidential medium. I help you connect to your loved ones in spirit. Thank you guys for coming back. It appears somebody tried to hack my account, so it kicked me off of all the platforms. So I'm just back on YouTube and Facebook, hopefully. So if you're on Facebook, say hi. Thank you guys for coming back. I really appreciate it. If anybody's out there on Facebook, let me know. Yeah, I had my whole Google account got shut down. People are cruel, Kimmy, but you know what I say about that? People need more love, and they're cruel because they are filled with sadness. And so that's the only way. Oh, thank you, Angie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Trent, it's a problem. It's been happening a couple times a month. But thankfully I have like all these different authentication and protections on there, so they can't really get in. But do be careful on Facebook because there are scammers on there who will send you a message and they will say, send me a friend request, or I know that you have, a special feeling or something weird. They'll say, then it's not me. I'm never going to send you a private message. I'm never going to send you any weirdly worded thing that says, I have your reading ready, or anything like that. If you book a reading, you book a reading. I don't ask you in a message to book a reading. So, but there are scammers, so be careful for that. You know how I talk, so I'm not going to say grand rising. I have a message for you, blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Holly. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's not cool. It's so not cool. So hopefully everybody makes their way back. I'll just repeat for those watching the replay. I have a digital course that's equivalent to a 6-month mediumship course. It has everything you need to learn about mediumship if you want to learn on your own for a reduced price. You can purchase the digital download on my website, or you can buy it on Amazon, and it is chock full of good info and journal prompts and exercises. The other is I have the new beginners class that is a 6-month mentorship starting April 26th. And that is once a month for the full class and once every other week for the practice in between classes. And the a la carte spirit exchange with Hollis Taylor to learn about death astrology charts. Hi, Doris. And I have my 30 minute for $50 special for mediumship readings. And I just opened a bunch of new dates so I don't run out of spots because a bunch of people were booking. Trent said, what's up with all the convincing spirit pulls baby leg video? I have not seen any of those, and without seeing them, I'll say I don't believe it. Babies do kick their legs in certain ways. People can fake that very easily. I've never heard of that until you just typed it. I've never seen that. I would be, as you know, Trent, I always tell you, just be very careful. It's kind of like, I believe aliens exist. Astrobiology is my specialty in science. I believe aliens exist, but I don't believe all of the videos we see are aliens. I don't think we're that interesting. for aliens to come here that much. It takes a lot of resources to come across the galaxy. And they just wouldn't come here in droves like that. Same thing with spirits pulling baby legs. If it happens, I would have to see proof of it myself. And I do know babies kick. Trent, I will tell you, I have not seen one, but just from what you typed, I don't believe it. I don't believe spirit would do that. I don't believe it. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any. So I don't think spirit would get physical with a baby of all things at all like that. And they can be hoaxed very easily. Very, very easily. So thank you. Almost everybody made their way back. I didn't go live back on Instagram. But we are here on YouTube and Facebook, and I didn't open TikTok back up in case I needed my phone to reboot my Google. Okay. People are sending me all kinds of messages. Where'd you go? Blah, blah, blah. All right. Just checking everything out. So we were talking about the afterlife and yeah, that's fine, Trent. What happens, and I was talking on the previous live stream before it got interrupted about how I had a fear of death my whole life. I had panic attacks into my late 40s. I talked to a friend 20 years ago who told me to learn more about death, and I was like, no, I don't want to learn more. I'm going to just suffer through it. And then I became a medium and my panic attacks went away. So that's what we were talking about before the interruption. So our soul can leave our body prior to our passing when we're dreaming, when we're, taking a nap, when we're in a coma, when we have dementia, anything where we're not conscious. And actually, you can probably learn to do it while you're awake, and astral travel and things like that. I'm sure hallucinogenic or some type of substances, I'll say, can do that for you. I have not done that. But just be aware that our soul is non-local to our body and can come and go as it pleases. Doris, happy birthday. I know, honey. I know you're not. So we're talking about the afterlife right now. So if you have any questions about how your husband is, let me know. In general, I'll tell you, all loved ones in spirit, all loved ones who've passed away go to spirit. Hi, Julie Marie Word. Hello, hello. So you don't have to worry, and you can talk to him yourself. You can learn to be your own medium. You just have to discern between your thoughts and your husband's, the things he would say. So it takes practice. I'm glad Rosie's in the house. Cosmic 80s. Can the soul leave a body just before a possible tragic accident or possible tragic accident? Yes, absolutely 100%. And I would say that's what happens most of the time. Our soul will know, oh, here comes the crash. If it's a car accident, let's say, and they can just pop right out and watch it all happen and observe. Sometimes I'll watch near-death experience videos and they say, I saw a car accident and I was watching, and then I saw a body on the ground, and then I realized, oh, that's me. That's my body. But I was up above. So yes. Yes, the soul can definitely leave the body anytime. Just keep breathing through it, Doris. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Kimmy Cat, have you ever woken up and gasped? Yeah, millions of times, because I used to have panic attacks about death every 3 or 4 times a week. I had an experience a while back and woke up and felt like my soul had just returned from the astral plane. And that happens. Absolutely, that can happen. Absolutely, that can happen. Yes. Check mark to all of that. We can Astral travel. Sometimes when you have a dream that's like so real, it's like, what is happening? You've probably been astral traveling. When it's a sequence of events and it feels more real than real, you're probably astral traveling. Jane, great question. Were our guides once flesh and blood? Now, this is going to sound like splitting hairs, okay? Guides versus angels. All right. Now, I have no proof of this. I cannot prove this. I can only tell you what the theories and beliefs are that most mediums believe. Guides were once flesh and blood people that we did not know in this lifetime. That's the going lore. Angels are souls that never incarnated on earth and were never people. That's the going lore. So yes, our guides were flesh and blood. Now, the other follow-up question I usually get is, could my mother, could my brother, could my aunt, could my grandma be my guide? Now, splitting hairs even more, most mediums say, most of the mediums I know say that your loved one who you knew in this lifetime cannot be your spirit guide, but they can be a helper guide. Now, personally, I don't care if you call your loved ones in spirit your guides. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect you. What's your belief system? That's up to you. But I'm just kind of explaining what in the mediumship circles, what the main belief system is. My mother died in 1986, and she's been guiding me all along. Is she my spirit guide? No, she's different from my spirit guide, but she does guide me and help me. So great question, Jane. All right. Hello, hello. Rosie said, our guardian angels were always in heaven and our guides were here. Is that correct? Yes, basically that's correct. Yes. And I am, well, Rosie, you missed the first half of my live stream where someone tried to hack into my whole system and kicked me out. So I had to start over, but everybody came back. So, and some new people. So I'm super happy. So you're welcome, Jane. Yes, Rosie. Yes, yes, yes. A guardian angel can't be your own guardian angel either, I believe. All right. All right. So great questions. Great questions. So I shared about my mother passing away. So I'm trying to remember what I shared in the first live stream since this has been split in two. I know this can be a very sensitive topic, and especially for people who are mourning their loved ones deeply. And I know, Doris, you are struggling. Just know that we are here for you to support you. This community we are building is to help people understand that we have all suffered tragic loss, and that is, it's kind of like group therapy, right? If you think about it, we're all here to talk and make comments and support each other and love each other through these times, because the world kind of sucks. You know, it's not that great out there right now. There's a lot of suffering, but that has happened all throughout history. And so we just have to be there for each other. And we're here for you, Doris. We're here for you. Rosie is a pretty name. Yes, that's my grandbaby's name, as Rosie knows. And then another creator I was talking to today, Patrick, the Oracle guy, his dog's name is Rosie, and he was on a live today. I'm like, oh my gosh, my baby granddaughter is Rosie. All right. So yes. Kind of hell. It does. Right. Exactly. So over the years, I want to address like heaven, reincarnation, spirit realms, all that kind of stuff. I was on a podcast the other day, and it's linked on my Facebook page. And the podcaster asked me if what I saw when I communicate, what I see, what does heaven look like? What does the spirit world look like? And I said, I've never really tried to look into the spirit world. I invite the loved ones in spirit into my awareness that I've created above my head. And if you're one of my students, you've heard about this before. I teach this. Create your own awareness. Invite the spirits in. Now, when I do my sitting in the power for just meditation to experience the spirit world, I automatically always go to space. Excuse me. So she was asking about crystal palaces and waterfalls and stuff, and I've never experienced it. I just experienced nebulas and stars and planets and just being out in space. That's what I experience. Cosmic, thank you. That just verified. What happened to me just prior to an accident? I watched the near-death accident from above, saw a beautiful, calm, slow motion tunnel. Sorry, somebody's burnt something cooking downstairs and it's choking me. Cosmic 80s, email me. I would love to, if you're up for it, interview you about your near-death experience. I would love that. I have a playlist. I've done 2 or 3 so far. I want to build that playlist a little more. Kimmy Cat, I think the spirit world looks like what dreams may come, movie geared toward. Yeah, I think that's possible. Yep. I think that's possible. Very much so. Okay. So what else? What else do we want to talk about? Some people ask me, have spirits communicated with me what the spirit world looks like? Not really. I don't really ask that in a reading. What I would like to ask you guys, what were you raised to believe about the afterlife? And has that changed over the years? Put that in the comments. So I'll tell, while you put that in the comments, how were you raised to believe in the afterlife? What did it look like? What would happen? All that. And I'll tell you how I was raised. So I was raised Catholic, baptized when I was, a baby, went to Catholic church a good bit of my life, not every month forever, but for a long time. I was taught that there was heaven and there was hell, there was purgatory, and there was limbo. Now, I don't really understand the point of purgatory and limbo. If anybody knows, please put it in the chat. But heaven, which is what I think of as the spirit world, and hell is burning fire and brimstone. Now, I never believed hell was real my whole life, no matter how much they told me. I never believed hell was real. Heaven, I was scared that it didn't exist. I was scared that when we die, nothing happens. I was scared about that. But now that I'm a medium, I know our soul goes on beyond this earthly realm, because after doing thousands of readings and getting tens of thousands of pieces of evidence, there's no way that you can not believe in it. Kimmy Cat, mine has changed big time. I was raised Catholic. Now I understand there is no hell. Hell's on earth. I do believe we have a life review. And that can be a form of purgatory. Yeah, I do believe in life reviews for sure. For sure. Sorry about the choking, but whatever they cooked downstairs in the kitchen made it smoky and it's affecting me. I think that I don't really understand purgatory and limbo 100%, but I think maybe the way they define it is a little off, but that's a further discussion for another time. Nobody else wants to share? Okay. Oh, Julie, heaven and hell until my mom died. I found you and my beliefs have changed. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't believe in hell at all. I never did. Even way before I was a medium. Never believed in it. It just doesn't make sense. And if you look at the biblical history of hell, follow Dan McClellan. He's amazing. He does a whole thing about it. And if you want the link, I have it in my notes on my phone. He does a really good explanation of, what the history of how hell came to be in religious doctrine. Trent, Christianity, but by nature, I'm open-minded. I searched for answers I could accept. Definitely 100% changed my mind. Yeah, I think as we go through life, we change and adjust our belief systems to understand that the dogma we're fed isn't always accurate. It's a lot of fear and control. Jane says, what about a person who was agnostic? So it doesn't matter what your belief system is when you pass away. Doesn't matter if you're atheist, agnostic, Christian, Buddhist, Jewish, Hindu, Muslim, it doesn't matter. The spirit world is the place everybody goes, no matter what your earthly belief systems are. You still go to the spirit world. So if you're worried someone passed away and they weren't sure about God or heaven, they still went to the spirit world. So you don't have to worry about that at all. And agnostic, in from my understanding, and I could be wrong, but I think agnostic means you don't know if there's a God or not. That's my understanding. Like you're not sure. You're open to it, but you don't see proof. Let me know, Jane, if that's right. Angie said, I was raised Catholic, heaven and hell. Hell never made sense to me. In my 20s, I started believing more in spirits and my own experiences. Now I love learning more from you and Kathy. Thank you. You've definitely filled in a lot of blanks. Thank you. Becoming a medium filled in a lot of blanks for me. I learned a lot. Hi, Jill. Jane, your son was agnostic. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Jill was raised Jewish and very spiritual. Can you tell me because I don't know, Jill, what do people who are Jewish believe? Somebody told me that Jewish people don't believe in heaven or an afterlife. Is that true? I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, Diana. I'm glad he came through several times in readings. Good. Excellent. All right, next. Let's see. I'm looking at, I made some notes to go over. Oh, Anna believes in reincarnation. I 100% believe in reincarnation. 100% believe in reincarnation. And you know what? That's funny because I believed in reincarnation well before I was a medium, even when I wasn't sure if God was real or heaven was real or any beliefs. I wasn't sure. I knew hell wasn't real, and I believed in reincarnation. Jill says, not true. We just state that they don't believe in Jesus, but I do. Okay. Jews believe in reincarnation. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. All right. I didn't know. I did not know that. Let's see. My scientific background has helped me kind of fill in some blanks, and I've read a bunch of books about it, and I made a bunch of videos about how science proves mediumship is real. I have talked about this many, many times, and because our soul is made of energy, our consciousness is made of energy, that energy cannot be created or destroyed. That's a law of physics. Nothing is created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. And our soul is energy. So you can't destroy the soul because it's energy. So once your body passes and is transformed into, smaller bits, turn to dust, right? But our soul is non-local to our body and leaves our body and goes out back into the universe. And I see it as you plug back into the collective consciousness. Now, if none of this resonates with you, that's okay. It's just what resonates with me. That's how I see it. Pamela said, taught the usual. Then after my 21-year-old son died last year, I researched every day what happened when we die. Found mediums, and it has helped me to believe they are still here with me. Have felt him. Still not sure what spirits are doing every day or exactly where they are, but hoping something like the heaven we were taught. I agree. I think that, mediums say people have jobs in heaven, in the spirit world. I can tell you that I have a very good client who, her granddaughter has become kind of a guide for me, a helper guide. And she helps me when I communicate with loved ones in spirit who were passed at a very, very young age. And her name is Hazel, and I have permission from the family to share. And I can see her fully formed. And in the first reading I gave to this family, she told me she was on the council. And I was such a new medium at that time. I didn't know what the council was. I had to look it up. So the council is, so these are some of the jobs. The council is the group of souls who your soul approaches when it's deciding whether to come back to Earth for another life or go to another planet, have a rest life, whether to stay in the spirit world, and what you can do to change anything you may have made a mistake on in this world in that last life. So the council is kind of like a group of souls to help guide you into your next life. But I didn't know that when Hazel told me she was on the council. And so that's one of the jobs people do. Ashley, hello, Ashley. Ashley was raised to believe in heaven and hell, but didn't really think too much into it. But now after losing my mom, I believe spirits never truly leave. I agree. I'll show you this picture. The 39th anniversary of my mother's passing was April 1st. And this is my mother's baby picture and her at her first communion, and her parents all passed. So I keep this here in my office, and she guides me every day. Jill, we are as one. And Kimmy Cat, I used to want to reincarnate, but see things differently now with so many losses the last 2 years. I really hope I'm enlightened enough that I won't come back. I know it's a long shot since I'm not Buddha. Yeah, I understand. This life can be pretty rough, especially when you lose loved ones, especially when. So, yeah, just all we have is each other. And I think that it's very important to understand that we need to be there for each other. We need groups like this where live streams, people, where we can come together and share our feelings and share our thoughts. Um, Jill, that is amazing. Her husband's helping her open up. Yeah, it is. It is very amazing. Absolutely. Our loved ones can help us from spirit. Oh, it really does. Oh, Ashley, this is a great question. When you say your mom guides you every day, does that mean she comes to you in spirit? That is so special. I'm going to tell a personal story. I'm an open book. I don't mind sharing my story. Um, she passed when I was 15. I had a pretty rough childhood. I moved across the country to live with my dad and his wife and my two stepsisters. And there were times when I needed to get a job, times when I needed to pass a class, times when I needed to pay my rent. And I always kind of felt my mother's presence around me. Now, I didn't know how to navigate that because I didn't understand mediumship or spirits in that way. So I would, excuse me, I would just feel her there. And then sometimes if I would get this job that I really needed, that paid me enough money to make a living, I would be like, wow, my mom really helped me with that. Now, I didn't know if any of this was real or any of that before. I just felt it. I felt it intuitively and instinctively. Now that I understand how spirit works, I talk to her probably just about every day. And if I'm struggling with something, or let's say I need to communicate something to someone, I'll ask her, hey, can you help me communicate this to someone through our higher consciousness? And so that's what I mean. I'm not sure if that makes total sense or not. Oh, great question. Trent says, how do you turn your abilities off when you don't want to receive any messages? This is a boundary. So I have to have boundaries. I teach this in my classes, and it's in my mediumship digital course. Spirit knows when I come into this office that it's time for me to do readings. Spirit knows when I'm going to bed at night, it's not time to come to me. Now that's because I've put boundaries in place, and I do this regularly. And I'll just, say, okay, at the end of the readings, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you helping communicate with your loved ones, and I just thank them, and their energy pulls back. Now, if spirits come to you when they're not supposed to, which does happen sometimes, you just say, now is not the time. If this person needs a reading, make it possible for them to get a reading. Sometimes a spirit will show up and there's no people there to get a reading. And I'm like, I'm not sure who you are, but whoever you're connected with, whether it's with me or another medium, allow them to get a reading if you need to talk to them. So you can just talk to them, and they can, let's say somebody's browsing the internet on social media and their loved one came to me in spirit and I didn't know who it was. And then their loved one sees an ad for a medium or a video by a medium, and they're like, oh, I want to talk to so-and-so. And then they book a reading with that person, whether it's me or someone else. So it's about boundaries and communicating. I'm glad you found me too, Kimmy Cat. How come some mediums will tell you your throat chakra is blocked? You must be talking to text, because I do the same thing. I can figure it out because the same thing happens to me. Your throat chakra is blocked, and then you have another reading 10 minutes later and they said, no, your throat is not blocked. Your root is blocked. Now they're telling me that. Another group, someone was asking me a question. Well, it depends. Are you getting one-on-one readings with a legitimate medium, or are you scrolling social media and getting little freebie mini readings? Um, a lot. Not every medium is the same. I have never, in a mediumship reading, told anybody their chakras are blocked. I don't, that's not part of what I do. I'm not a chakra specialist. I believe in chakras. I know they're there. I just don't know enough about them to say that. Now, if I may pull a card that has throat chakra on it, and I say you may have a blockage, maybe you're not speaking your truth, but you shouldn't. It's not always when you go from one live reading to another, you're not always going to get consistent information, is what I'll say about that. Not, I saw someone asking this, figured I would ask. Oh, okay. Not all mediums are the same. Not all mediums are trained. Some people are, charging money on lives just to, make a quick buck, and they're not really legit. I'm going to be the spirit that keeps being told now's not a good time, Trent. Yeah, that's funny. So just do your due diligence. If you're getting a reading from anyone for any reason, check out their website, check out their testimonials. For me, I have tons of clients that would absolutely be happy giving you a reference. So anybody watching the replay, anybody here now, if you're not sure, is she legit or not? I've got so many people that could give you a reference for me or read the testimonials. So always vet your mediums. It's like going to a doctor. You don't just go to if you go to a doctor for a bellyache and they tell you have a headache, you probably want a different doctor. Oh, thank you, Jill. Yeah, I've been doing this a long time and I really care about what I'm doing. But I'm going to go. I am tired. I will be live Friday night, probably here again. I'm going to have some guest readers with me Friday night. I will post about that. We're going to be doing readings and having some good discussions. So Friday night lives, probably Facebook, YouTube, and readings Friday night around the same time. You'll see me post it. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your patience. Oh, thank you, Jill. I appreciate your patience with my hacking situation. Good night. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye.